Hi! Welcome to another episode of our Coffee Talkie Show. I missed you. We weren't here last week.
Yes, you're skiing.
Yes.
The many advantages of living abroad.
Yes.
Because you weren't able to do that
Yes,
for
absolutely.
so long. We have an amazing, I'm not going to say amazing. I'm going to say vulnerable, super honest, relatable topic for you today.
Yes.
Because I don't know how it is for you, but I am done waiting.
Can you guess what this topic is today? If Gal is done waiting.
I am done waiting. I will start by saying I am fed up with waiting.
And that's exactly why we decided to talk to you today about patience.
Yes.
So I hope you have your coffee and maybe your notebook to write some notes, and let's begin.
Cheers. So, welcome to another episode of the Coffee Talkie Show. And today we wanted to talk to you about something very real. It's true for our day-to-day lives. It can be in different areas of your life, but it's very much present in expats' life and relocations and the journey that we're on to. And that's patience.
Yeah, and so many times we want to fast forward life and to already get there and to things to just be settled and, to things to happen quicker because we first want to, and second, I think we all have a hard time waiting for things that we really, really want.
Yeah.
Whether it's a move abroad or a new job or a relationship or
knowing how things will turn out. I think part of patience is being like, okay, I understand it now, it's hard. But do you remember this reel that has been going on about a year ago? If you're on Instagram or TikTok, you've probably seen it like a million times. It was super viral at the point. Can we skip to the good part? And you had this like, skip the good. And then there was a second reel that was like, it's not working. Like, can you skip to the good part? It doesn't work. Because you don't skip the process. And I really remember even back then, I think we joked about it as well. Because you don't skip it, you live it. And patience is a big part of it. It's a quality that we have that we keep on using in any or most areas of our lives because we always want things to go quicker, or we're done with it. Like, enough.
But the question is, like, a lot of times there's actually nothing you can do to fast forward time. Sometimes there are things you can, actively do in your life in order to make things happen faster. That's true. But most of the time, you can't fast forward it. Like,
No.
That's not yours to control. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, you cannot fast forward time. You can do things, steps, moves, to get faster results, but it won't happen. You can't fast forward time. That's the point.
Yeah, and even if you fast forward results, other things will happen. So,
yeah,
I want to give you a very personal story, and maybe you'll share one in a moment as well. For those of you who've listening to us for a while now, I had a car accident, a motorcycle car accident this summer. So it's 6 months ago, maybe even more now, something like that. And I injured my foot, and it takes a lot of time. So last week my whole family went skiing and I couldn't. I really wanted to, and I couldn't. I asked my physiotherapist, can you show me some exercise to test? Can I snowboard next week? And we tried, and I saw that I couldn't. Now, if I have to be honest, and if with what Maayan just said, I might have been able to do more things over the past 6 months to make things maybe faster. And I'll say maybe, because I don't know. Because you think you do things faster, but then they still take a certain amount of time. And the one thing you need is patience.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can know how much time it would take you. But for example, that's a great example what you just said about your accident. And it's been 6 months and you've been working, with a physical therapist for 6 months between 1 or twice a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if you've done 1 session per month, probably it would take you longer to recover. If you've done twice a day, probably it will be better.
Probably. And I think that's the key. That's the thing. You don't know. You put all the chances in your favor. You take decisions. You'll hear me say it a lot because I really believe in that. At every single moment in life, we're taking a decision, the best decision we can based on the information we have right now. So if right now you think that if you exercise 5 days a week, it will get you better results, then great. But still, there's no guarantee that in 1 month you'll be able to do X or Y. You're putting more efforts in, you might get better results, and you need to accept that there's a process.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And I think the one thing that is really annoying about patience, and it brings a lot of frustration.
Yes.
Because you really want something to happen in a certain way, and you put the effort. Like, honestly, you're doing the work, and it's still not working as fast as you want to, and it creates frustration. But really, I think that if at a certain point you're evaluating your situation and you say, yes, I wish it would have been faster, this recovery or any other thing, but I am doing everything that I can right now in order to put all the chances in my favor and to make it the quickest I know, then you should step into acceptance of the situation, knowing that you're doing everything that you can and that it takes time, and be open to whatever the process will bring you. And I say right here, like, it's simple, but it's not that easy to accept and to be honest enough with yourself, saying, I'm doing the best I can right now to make it work, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I can do something else to make it faster, because nothing works faster if you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're sitting on the couch waiting for your abs to just show up, then probably it's going to take some years. Maybe never.
Maybe never.
But if you're honest with yourself and you say, am I doing the best I can right now? Maybe tomorrow is another thing. Maybe yesterday was something else. But right now, am I doing everything that I can in order to make this thing that I want come faster? If yes, then you're past to the next level of acceptance. Then if I'm doing everything that I can, it will take time. I know it. I accept it. And I'm in a journey and I'm open to this journey. And it will come eventually. And
that's where patience kicks in.
Yeah, patience. And I think the next level of after acceptance would be belief. To believe that it's actually going to happen. Because if you don't believe that it's going to happen, then all this patience is like worth nothing.
Yeah. But I guess that's the the real truth about patience, because you cannot be patient if you don't believe the end result will arrive, because then you give up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's even before acceptance.
Okay.
I'll say, like, because I'm thinking of every damn area in my life that I've been patient in the last 34 years now. It always starts with a belief.
Okay.
And then the acceptance is coming from understanding that it takes the time that it needs. That I will do whatever I can do. I don't always know if I'm doing the best. I sometimes think I could do more, but right now that's the best I can do. You know, that's a weird way of understanding it, because consciously I know I can do more. As Maayan said, for example, the physical therapy, I could do 3 sessions a week and not 1 this time. I could do more exercise myself. I could, physically I could, but I'm choosing not to because there are so many other things. So I'm doing what I believe I can and is suiting me right now, knowing that there might be things that I could do better.
And you know the amazing thing about time? That it always passes, always. It never gets frozen in time.
No.
It's always moving forward. And no matter how long it can look like right now, it always moves forward and time always passes.
Yeah.
It's never stuck time.
Do you have example of something you're patient about?
I wanted to give an example about life abroad, about this feeling of I belong to some new place. So I hear a lot of time and I read a lot of Facebook groups. I love this. It's like my favorite new activity to read Facebook posts of women that are living abroad. That's what I do in my free time. So I read a lot of posts of women saying, I'm here for 6 months and I don't feel like I belong yet. Why is it taking so long? Or I've been here for a year and I still don't have those relationships and friendships that I wish I had. And that usually what I answer to those women is patience. You need patience for those things because those are process that take time. And a lot of time we compare friendships of decades to I'm here for a year, why don't I have friends? And you forgot that it took you sometimes the year to create those other relationships and to feel like you belong in a community. I can give you an example for me. When I lived back in Israel, I'm not that social, and it took me a lot of time to feel part of a community, of, you know, finding my circle of friends. And actually, it happened like 3 months before I left, that I really felt that I belonged there. But I already made a decision to move and it was okay. And actually those friendship kept growing even after I left Israel. And when I got here, the first year I was here, I didn't feel like I created a new relationship. And honestly, when I asked myself, am I doing the best I can to create new relationships or friendships? The answer was no, because it wasn't my top priorities. And when I have those conversations with myself, then my answer would be, then what are you expecting? Of course, it takes time if you're not doing all the efforts. And that's a long process and it takes time. Of course, it's taking time. Relax, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
You're going to get there, but it takes time and that's okay. The problem with relationships and expats is that a lot of expats are coming for a year, 2 years, and they don't have enough time to really create those meaningful relationships and they really feel like they belong because they're short in time and they try, you know, to force it. And some processes, they just can't be forced in 1 year. and it creates frustration. And then patients, I don't know, sometimes it can help, but not always, because sometimes you're out of time.
Yes, but I'm trying to think, and you know, this is live conversation, right? That's the whole beauty of the Coffee Talkie Show. We bring you in our own personal conversations, and today we decided to talk to you about patience because of so many things in our lives. So here we are, and I'm trying to think if it's always only about time.
Not only.
Because I consider myself a very patient person in many ways. And I'm really trying to think, am I only considering it because I understand things take time? Or because I understand that we don't always work the same way? People in general? And therefore what I think, yeah, but then again, it's time.
But when you're feeling like, I'm out of patience, I'm done waiting, you know, this thing, it's because, usually I think it's because too much time has passed and you didn't get the results you wanted.
Yeah, probably.
And it can be, you know, sometimes you're waiting for the bus for 20 minutes and the bus hasn't arrived, so you're done waiting, and
yeah,
it happens. It's because it's not the time you wanted to wait.
Yeah, so I think if we go to what you say, it's about expectations.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot. We had another episode, I think, about it, about the difference between, like, what does it mean to be frustrated? It's basically when you had an expectation that didn't meet reality, then you start being frustrated.
Yeah.
So the same thing goes with patience then.
Yeah.
The reason why we need to put out of our toolbox the patience tool is because we thought something will take a certain time, reality didn't meet it, frustration kicks in, and then one of the tools that can help us with frustration is understanding that we need patience.
Yeah. It's like we need longer time.
Yeah.
And, you know, in life abroad, we have so many examples. For example, you thought you'd get, you know, you learn the language in 6 months. My friend did that. My kids already speak Italian fluently. I know a girl, she moved to Singapore and she already speaks. And you're there for 2 years, you can't speak Dutch. And it's frustrating.
But there it's interesting, because then it's going on, touching on another thing, which is, how did you set your expectations? Are they based on your own skills, capabilities, possibilities, beliefs, desires, or are they based on others? Because you're totally right when we see so many women talking to us about, I tried so hard to speak French and my best friend is learning, she managed to speak fluently in 3 months. I've been here 3 years and I can't even manage to order a croissant normally in the boulangerie. And I'm done. And I just...
I'm done waiting.
I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting for it. But actually, you probably have different skills. You probably...
Or you maybe have done different work in order to get... Maybe she learns, you know, from morning to night all the time, and you're going to class once a week.
Yeah, might be, but I also think there's something about our own, we are not the same person.
Yes, of course.
Like, if you and I will decide to start exactly the same thing together, do it exactly the same way, do the exact amount of time,
definitely different results.
We will definitely have different results, no matter what it is, because we're two different persons.
Yeah, and you know, going back to patience, things that for me takes a lot of time and it's okay for me, for you, after 2 minutes, you say, I'm done waiting. And the other way around as well.
Yeah.
And you know, waiting for the bus is a great example. How many times you're going to a bus station or the train station and you're waiting, and for example, it happens a lot to us. You see it like you have to wait 13 minutes or 15 minutes. And you have those that will see the sign and, okay, what's 15 minutes? I can wait 15 minutes. And those grumpy will say, I'm not waiting 15 minutes. I'm gonna order a cab. I'm gonna try another bus. I'm gonna walk. Those people can wait, and it's the exact same situation, waiting for the bus. But what you don't know is the background story of these people. You don't know whether this woman, she needs to get to a meeting. Maybe she needs to go to take up her kids. Maybe she's enjoying this 15 minutes doing nothing in the middle of the day. Maybe there's a million reasons why we sometimes have patience and sometimes we don't.
And I think it goes back then to the belief.
Yeah, maybe.
To the belief. Do we believe that eventually it will happen?
So it's, do we believe we can get it? And how much time do we believe it will take us?
Yeah.
And when we don't meet those
belief, then
frustration comes.
There's frustration. But then I wanna add another thing, and we touched upon it on our conversation in Laplace this week with the ladies. I believe that eventually you always need patience. You can let frustration kick in. You can like ways to recalculate and re-understand the journey, but you will have to keep on being patient, because if you want something to get done, unless you quit, that's another option. But if we're talking about big life things, right, or if we're talking about real desires that you have, then you can either be patient or you quit. You can either accept that it takes the time that it takes or you quit. You can either keep on going for as long as you need, or you quit. There's no other way. And if I take, for example, the again, living abroad, we see it so many times. People are like, I heard it takes 3 months to get a visa. I've been waiting for a year, like you had with your husband. Why is it so long? I'm fed up with it. True. It's okay. Express your feeling. You can be frustrated with it. But then you have two options. Either you be patient and you wait for it to come around and to take the time that it needs to take, and you do whatever you need to do to make it happen, but you need to pull out of your toolbox patience, or you quit.
And that's a great example, because it's an exact example for a kind of situation where no matter how you want to speed up the process, you can't. It's not about you. If you've given all the documents that you were requested to give, and all you can do is wait for someone else's to do the work, there's nothing you can do to speed this process. And the more you try, the more you get frustrated. And we had an example of this, again, in Laplace this week, about this amazing woman. If you're hearing us right now, we love you. She wanted winter to end. She wants spring to come. And I'm sending you a big hug if you hear us right now, because I can really feel you. I know that sometimes we're done with winter. Come on, stop this gray, stop this darkness. We want spring. We want to, break through. We want flowers. We want sunshine. But we can't speed up the process. There's nothing we can do in order to bring spring earlier. My kids she has a children's book about day and nights, and a rabbit that didn't want night to come. He wanted to stay up all day, so he canceled the night. And that's exactly the same. There are processes you can do, and even if you did, like this rabbit did, the consequences are horrible. Sometimes we need to wait. Imagine, a flower wants to bloom, and is rushed through the process wouldn't be as beautiful in spring. Those things take time. A baby that needs to be born needs to wait 9 months inside the womb before it's born. Otherwise, the consequences are horrible. We need to wait, and that's okay.
We need a journey, and I think that's the key. And I'll give it in another example about relationships. You talk about friendships. In order to build good friendships, in order to build good intimate relationships, it requires time. It requires a journey. It's not about how much time, rather than how many experiences will you have, how many moments, how many conversations, how many connections. You might be able to speed things up. There are those relationships that you see the person and you're like, you're going to be a great friend of mine. I can feel it. There's something there. But if we won't see each other for 3 months after, it won't develop. It requires some of our effort, but it's about enjoying this journey and understanding that before you can call them your best friend or your boyfriend or your husband or anything in your life, any kind of relationship, well, you need to enjoy this journey along the way. So true, sometimes we're fed up, and I have to tell you, I spent the last 2 weeks being nah, I'm enough, because I've been patient with my healing, and I've been patient with dating, and I've been patient with business, and I've been patient with family, and I've been enough. But then again,
what can you do?
What can I do?
Do you want to quit on us?
No.
So you have to be patient. You
So-
said it yourself.
Yeah, so I was so I look at it again, and I'm like, okay. And that's where you think you reached the end of your capabilities. You think you reached it. It feels like it. But then you ask yourself, did I? Do I want to quit? No. And you keep on going.
And you show yourself that you actually have more patience than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
stretches a lot.
Yes. And life abroad requires a lot of waiting, patience. It has a lot of frustration. We are not here to sugarcoat life abroad.
No.
It's frustrating sometimes. Sometimes you're waiting for things you don't even understand why you're waiting, or what can you do to speed up the process, and actually you can't. Or you're waiting 6 months for winter to end, or you're waiting for your friends from back home to call you, or your mom to call you, or you're getting a new job, or your kids to settle in. You're waiting. It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of frustration. But guess what? If you don't want to quit, then
You can decide to live it.
yeah.
Live, not live.
Wait some more. Stretch your patience. It's something that you have within you. Just use it once more and more and more until you have the results that you want.
Yeah. It's not easy. I will never tell you that it's easy. More than once in my life, I felt like I thought maybe I should stop taking care of this or that. But then, if you're super honest with yourself, if there's something you want, then it will take the time that it needs. And eventually, if you believe that you can get there, if you believe that it's possible, then you'll get it. The time that it takes. And you can't rush it.
Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly. That's really what we're here to say to you.
So what I want to tell you before we go, and again, very, very honest here. If you listened until now and you're on this crossroad of saying like, I'm done. Should I quit? Should I give up? Should I do something drastic different? Or should I keep on waiting? And you feel like you don't know how to make even this decision, what you can do, and you feel like you've reached the limit of your patience, send us a message. Talk to us. We're here for you. We truly care. And we know what you're going through.
Absolutely. And we really hope this Coffee Talkie show was valuable to you, and maybe you've taken some notes. And if you didn't already, you can subscribe and follow us on
share.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we're fun there. We're fun, and we give a lot of our experience as women living abroad.
Yeah.
So use that for yourself, for your own experience. And we'll see you next week.
Yes. Have a great
Take care.
one.